Hello and welcome back to Studio Kaiju RC Review. Today we are going to look at something a little unique, a little different, a little cool. They're always a little bit cool. It is an NGAD jet. Well, it's not really a jet. It's a ducted turbine fan engine thingy. It is a 6th generation EPP foam airplane, 4-channel from DeeRC. That's DeeRC. And it is also put out by a few other companies. The one I got is from DeeRC. So let's take a look today at this bad boy.
This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanations, but not necessarily the only ones, to the mysteries we will examine.
Okay, so we're back, and today we're looking at the FX9672 RC aircraft, put out this time for me, anyhow, by DeeRC, DeeRC, as you see right up there, and it is the FX9672 RC aircraft. They don't call it a jet because it isn't a jet. It would have to have jet engines for that to be the case. What kind of engines does it have, though? Well, that's a good question. If you take a look deep down inside, you see there are two multi-bladed fans in there, not jet engines, but engines. And they are, I believe, brushed motors, but they're fairly powerful. And because of that, it takes a much larger battery. Actually, it takes 2 lithium batteries that are packed together. So instead of 1, you get 2. I'm sorry, right now I can't read the stupid specs on this thing to tell you what the battery capacity is. But yeah, so let's just say it's pretty powerful. It's a very simple design. The only thing that you have to do when you get it to assemble it is you got to put on the 2 tail fins, which are just really kind of awesome looking. It has the 2 ailerons that are controllable, and it has differential thrust from each of the 2 exhaust vents for the engines, which means that if you want to turn left to the so you want to turn this way, this side will push more than this side. So that helps with the turning and the maneuverability. The design is pretty simple. You put the battery in this little slot in this compartment, and then you plug it in, and then you slap the top on like this, and it just pops right on. So that's how that works. You get with that also an instruction manual. It is not a huge instruction manual, but it's a sizable manual, meaning it's much more readable. Appears to be all in English, so and it is 6 pages, not including the outside covers. There's a lot of useful information in here. Always a good thing to read this, particularly since it's got a more advanced controller. There's lots of things on here, not just trim, not just thrust and so forth. You've got different levels of controllability, A, B, and C, A being the simplest. B and C obviously are for more advanced features. You have buttons here for things like 3D flips and rudder gear control. I'm not sure how to use that yet. I got to look into that. But at any rate, I'm not having a lot of luck with this guy. I'm not enjoying flying this because, and one of the things I like to watch other reviewers too when I review something to see what am I missing, what are they finding out that I'm not, or corroborating things that I'm seeing. And one of the things that is the case with the FX9672, which, by the way, the other company that puts out the FX9672, Lazy Bear or something like that. I don't forget the name of it. I've never dealt with them. They also use that same model number, so that's how I know it's exactly the same thing. But one of the things I did find out, and I think this was from Quadcopter 101, it's a really good critic. You should look at his stuff. Is that it does stall extremely easily. You have to keep it moving fairly quickly in order for it to keep flying, and it's a little bit light in the nose, so it likes to do this, and that also makes it stall, which I basically happens almost every single time I fly it. I have not really brought it in for a landing once. It's always stalled and come down, but you can get it to fly, and it's just a matter of figuring out the subtleties. Unfortunately, one of the problems I've been dealing with is this is one of the problems with being an RC review, flying machine reviewer in the cooler months, is finding good weather days to fly. And lately we've had lots of high wind, all that. Today we don't have too much, so I was able to go out this morning and try some more flying, which you'll see as part of the clips at the end of the episode. I want to say a couple things about this. First off, this is gorgeous. The design on this thing is just so subtle and smooth, and it's just a stunning piece of artwork. Look at those curves on there. That is something they really cared about, and I believe this is based on, although probably not a highly accurate, but it's based on the Dark Star, which was seen in the movie Top Gun Maverick, but also is in reality the SR-71 Blackbird, the replacement for the Blackbird, and it's a gorgeous machine. And it's fun to fly when it does fly, but like I say, it's very prone to stalling out, and it's a little bit frustrating. And I am not the most accomplished RC pilot, but I'm not without my capacities, and I find this too difficult to fly for me. And I first off, the landing gear is for crap. Do not even bother with the landing gear. Just hand launch it, because it doesn't like the landing gear. Landing gear is the wire is too thin, and it makes it they bend easily, and it really doesn't have the oomph to get up off the ground from the landing gear. So just hand launch it. That's fine. It does hand launch really easily, and because it's ducted blades, you're not going to worry about hitting the blades with your hands. So you can hold it like this, launch it that way. You can hold it like this, launch it that way. It will take off. But then it's up to you to grab this guy and get it to do what it's doing. And again, I'm finding it a little bit frustrating. It is fun when you have it flying. It is fun, but I have not really lasted more than, say, a minute and a half. And I know performance issues at my age, but I have done a lot better with other planes. Chief among them, the Kaiju F22 that I did a review of way back at the beginning of this whole thing. It might have even been my first review. But this guy here, it's almost worth it just because of the look of the machine. It's just beautiful. They really took their time. They did a paint job that is intelligent and works with the shape of the plane and gives it a real authentic feel, as opposed to something that looks like a toy. And when it's up there in the air, boy, does it work nice. Now, you get 2 of these rubber noses because, sometimes they think you might need a spare. And the reason for that is because when they come down, they'll come down like that. It might break it. But because there's nothing inside most of the nose, I think this does a better job than the ones that have more foam going forward. And I didn't like the idea at first, but once I got this on properly and I got flying with it, I do prefer that. You get a screwdriver. No, actually, I don't think you do get a screwdriver with this one. You get a second battery, which my other one is charging right now. You get 2 sets of landing gear and a charger for the battery, which requires a special charger. You don't charge the plug that plugs into the plane. You plug this charging port. So, and they do charge up reasonably quickly, not phenomenally quickly, but reasonably. It's a good plane and it's fun to fly. It's just like I say, I wish I could fly it for more, more time than I usually get out of it before it comes down. And when it crashes, it crashes because it's nose light. One of the things I did to counter that, which you'll see, I don't know if you'll see it, but what I did in the video that I took this morning was I took a screw that's about this long, a bolt actually, and I put it in this compartment with the battery so that there's just a little more weight up front, because look at the balance on this thing is, is the center of balance is right back, right around, well, I can't get it balanced, but it's right back around here when it really should be closer to the front. So it's too light up here, and that's why it'll and then stall out. I think you listened to me talk enough about it. I'm not going to say don't get it, but I'm going to say get it if you have a little bit more seasoning working with 4-channel remote controls and are a little more adventurous in the way you fly. And other than that, have fun with it. It's just, when it does fly, it's fun. All right, I'm Joe with Studio Kaiju RC Review. I've got a video for you now. Watch that. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit notifications, hit the enemy with the NGAD Next Generation Air Domination Flyer, and have a good day and stay awesome. Oh yeah. All right. All right, I think I've got enough.